Week also a little bit more about the rendering plants. It was something that we talked about last week. So we have some people that have just some more information about that to give everyone out there just a good feel for, or just a good idea of what's really happening with some of these shelters that they have contracts with rendering plants, and then it goes in as it'll say something similar to it's bone meal or like different meat compositions that's actually going back into your dog food. And so that's something we want to bring to everyone's attention, and just kind of, know what you're doing, and knowing what a difference rescuing one dog's life, like what that means and how that is. And I have another girl that I want to talk about. Someone reached out to me regarding a dog in Simi Valley. And the one thing that happens very often with these pitties in the shelter is they need human interaction. So when there's a situation where they're in a constant kennel, they start going kennel crazy, and it's very alarming. But the pitties, they need that human interaction, they need that attention, and you see them deteriorating more than any other breed. So we'll touch base about that a little bit more also as soon as we return. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So occasionally I'm a little off today. I don't have my co-host Chad here with me, so not having him here has got me a little bit spun, because usually we're chatting about the week's events in the middle, and he kind of keeps me on track. So Chad's away. It's his son's birthday today, so he's celebrating with his family. So I had. We talk about rescue, and I know at AFA, very often I pull the seniors. That's part of what I do. It's something I'm very passionate about. These people, once the dogs are older, they drop them at the shelter. Very often they drop them at the shelter and say they're a stray. As the dog is tucking itself up underneath, its previous owner's legs, and they say, "Oh, I found this dog." And so a lot of those seniors end up coming into AFA's system, and so we bring them in, and one of the hardest things, and I just went through it this week, it's one of those experiences that you understand when you pull a senior out of the shelter. You definitely know that that their time is limited, but you want to give them quality of life. For me, just the thought of a senior just being in a prison cell, basically in a jail cell at the shelter, until they have the walk of death, just isn't the way to go. Even if, a lot of you, there was lucky, and I renamed him Happy, but he was on a show, quite a few months ago. But even if I only had him for 2 days, he was able to come home and he was with me, and I got to enjoy his company. He got to enjoy my company, and then it was determined medically. I mean, many of you might remember, he was the blind and deaf pity boy. He was pretty big, but I did bring him into the show. I had barely pulled him out of the shelter and brought him in. And so I had those 2 days with him. And then when he did go when we took him in for his exam on that following Monday, it was determined that he had, extreme internal bleeding. And there wasn't even, put aside the fact that he was 17 years old, on ultrasound, they weren't even able to find, the bleed was so extreme that they weren't even able to find it on ultrasound. So even a young pup would have had trouble making it through a procedure like that. So we had him for a couple of days, and even the loss of him, I was able to love him, and I was sitting there with him and cuddled with him, and he had the comfort of being with a human, and I had become his human even in those 2 days, and he was cuddled and comforted and helped cross over. And so you have that situation. So some of them are with you for 2 days, some of them are with you for 2 years, but at the time when you pull these seniors that their time essentially is limited. And I think I have a few volunteers that will take in the seniors, and for them I say thank you, because I know what it is what you go through when you love them, and that's what we do. So I pull these seniors, and so this last week, actually yesterday, it was pretty rough on me. It was a rough day. I've talked about a little guy Oso, and he was the Chow mix from Downey, and the ironic thing was I pull a lot of medical from Downey Animal Shelter, and I had seen him every time I'd go there. I would see him, and he was a matted mess, but he was in a regular kennel, but he was a senior, and every time I saw him, I thought, man, if I just had the room, or, oh man, he's still here, poor little guy. Like, I wish he would find a home. Well, then eventually, like on one of my runs over there, I saw him, and I just had to. I was like, you know what? He's been in here too long, because at that point he had been in the shelter for 3 months, and I said, you know what? I've got to get him out of here, and so I did, and I pulled Oso, little Chow mix, and sweet as can be, great with the other dogs, and like little dogs, big dogs. He was just a sweetheart, just such a love, and always looking for a treat. Anytime if my hands moved around his head, he was extremely treat motivated. And if my hands moved, and sometimes he snapped a little bit, but it was just because he thought that, he was concerned he was going to miss that next treat. So with Oso, just an amazing boy. And yesterday, like, it was determined, we did everything that we could. He looked like he was a Chow, maybe Corgi mix, and his rear end had given out on him. And we were still doing pain meds, and I would still get him up and pick him up and help him go to the bathroom. Because once he got up and stood up, he was able to walk around and follow the other little dogs around and stuff. And so he had quality of life until it just got too severe, when he couldn't get himself up at any time to go to the bathroom. And we had increased his pain medication to a point that it was an extreme amount of pain medication to help him. And then that started affecting other things. And yesterday I had to say goodbye to Oso. And so he was loved, and he was with me in my home and cared for about 9 months, and I'm thankful for that time. But that's all part of rescue. Like, when I pull these seniors, I know that time will come. And some of these seniors just really, they hit you in different ways. Some of them, like Happy, the pit bull that I referred to earlier. I had him for 2 days. Oso I had for 9 months. And so he lived with me day in and day out for 9 months. And I'm thankful that I had that time with him. And that, I mean, because he gave me something too, but it's devastating, when you lose one of these seniors. And so I just want to encourage anyone out there, if you're thinking about giving away your senior, please don't. Love your senior. You need to be there. You need to follow it through. You made a commitment to that dog whenever you first got that dog, whether you got him as a puppy or at 5 years old. You made a commitment to him, and I'm asking you to follow it through. And if you think that there's a medical issue, if there's something that's treatable, call me about it. I mean, I'm more than happy to try to help you if it's a medical condition that is the reason you're considering giving that dog up and turning it into the shelter, because your pup better than any rescue can, better than any shelter can. So if you've already done 2 or 3 things and you've already done these tests, but you just can't afford anymore, then I ask you, just give me a call, because I mean, that's the biggest heartache, because you have to understand that a rescue comes in. We know nothing. We don't know what's normal for your dog. We don't know what behavior is normal. Is your dog normally like a finicky eater, or has he just now started doing that? What kind of tests have you done? What kind of shots have been done? What's his personality? So we literally have to start from scratch, even with the senior. And so if there's a way you can keep your dog, and you just need a little bit of help, then give me a call, and I'll definitely do everything I can to see what I can do to help you keep your dog. My personal number is 805-558-5240. So you can definitely give me a call if you're thinking about you really want to keep your dog and you just need a little bit of help with something, then definitely give me a call. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
From traditional Hawaiian weddings and vow renewals to your own unique ceremony, find out why Ka'anapali Weddings is the perfect place to say, I do. Create the memory that will last a lifetime at the place you and your family know and love, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Imagine yourself and your loved one just steps away from world-famous Ka'anapali Beach in one of many wedding venues to choose from, including oceanside lawns, tropical gardens, or indoor banquet rooms. With your choice of catering, bar, floral, and musical options, you can make your special day customized just for you. Their wedding specialist will help you plan your dream wedding today. For more information, visit ka'anapaliweddings.com or call 661-0011. Ka'anapali Weddings, the perfect place to say, I do.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? Yeah. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system system. The Pure Water Science System features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitize delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So I had talked about Natalie. Natalie's the pity from SBC. She should be in studio any minute. So it looks like Allie's delayed in traffic, so that's the way it works. Chad's away at a birthday party with his son, and Allie's supposed to be in here, and she's stuck in traffic. And then, so you got me. So I was talking before the break a little bit about these seniors, and really that's one of the things people. The biggest misconception is somehow that if they take their dog to the shelter, their shelter is going to find, their dog is going to find this magic place with these magic people that have all this magic money and just take care of everything for them. And so I can understand that people come upon financial hardships, and definitely, as a rescue, I understand the costs of vet care and how expensive it can be. I mean, there are definitely months where my vet care bills, go up and between $10,000 and $20,000 a month, and that's just because there's so many dogs within Animal Foundation of America's rescue. So I do understand how expensive it can be, and that there are people out there that don't have the money, but the one thing that I want to dispel right away is that there's some magic place that takes care of them, and they live happily ever after with some wonderful family that's able to cover all of their medical care and take care of them. So when you think that, I understand that there are people out there that they rid themselves of the guilt. They take their dog and they take it to the shelter and they think, okay, my dog is going to be fine. But what are you doing to the shelter system? And one, your dog that was in a home is now in the shelter, and that's taking up a spot. So it's causing potential loss of a number of other dogs' lives. But what about your dog? Your dog is confused. He doesn't understand. So many times I know volunteering at the shelter and even going in and pulling dogs out of the shelter, you have dogs that appear to be aggressive. And it's fear aggression. They're terrified. They don't know what's going on. Suddenly they're in an environment where all these dogs are barking and these people in uniforms are giving them food, and they're no longer in the comfort of their home. A lot of them are potty trained, but now they're not able to go out and go potty. So they're crying and they're barking and they don't know what's going on. Some of them do. There are those dogs that come into the shelter that just come in and they're as strays. Somehow they got out, because that happens. But then you've got this situation where when you intentionally turn your dog in because you can't handle something. There are lots of organizations and lots of groups out there that can help you with that. There is help. Feel free. Like me on Facebook, Rescue Radio. And if you do that, then, message me. Send me a message. I'm more than happy to try to help you find a group in your area, because there are different organizations everywhere out there that can help you do that. So we've got Allie here. She made it. Allie and Natalie are here. So Allie, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and bring the microphone up a little bit more.
Hi.
There we go. Hi. So I was just talking about the dogs in the shelter when they come in. So many people turn their dogs in thinking that there's a magic place and some magic person that's going to take their dog and just love it forever. And they don't understand that, especially if they've got a dog that's older, the senior dogs, what happens to them. So I was kind of going to that. But Allie's here. I talked briefly. Allie from the Valley, she does a lot of photographs from the East Valley Animal Shelter and helps with the dogs there. And she does fostering for East Valley, a lot of the kittens, I believe. But Natalie, so Natalie is the pity, and we're going to get her in the next segment. We'll get her up so that you'll be able to see her on the live feed. So tell us a little bit Natalie's story. Like, I mean, you see lots of dogs at East Valley Shelter, but Natalie hit you. So,
yes, I saw Natalie's post on Facebook, and I do try to share animals from other shelters when I see them. I try not to get too involved in those threads because I don't want to get attached, but there was something about her, and I reached out to the volunteers from that shelter from San Bernardino to find more out about her, and I sort of networked her to some rescues that I knew, but it's, everybody's kind of full, and especially in
every
LA.
rescue out there is always full. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard with bigger dogs, and especially with restricted breeds for rescues too. They've got a lot, and I just couldn't let her go. I had to do something, so I decided to sort of briefly enter into the rescue world myself.
So this is your first little intro into it, and so then you reached out to me, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. So kind of go through the process that you went through and where you're at and where Natalie is, and so we can put it out there and look for her for a forever home. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanacin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanacin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200. 4200.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items. And dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. We've got Natalie here. Look at this little girl. So if you see her, here we go. If you're on the computer, then you can see Natalie. And again, Natalie is available for adoption. She's about, they said 10 months, but the vet believes she's about 2 years old. And she's looking for her forever home. She's current on her vaccinations. She's been microchipped and she's been spayed. And she's just a love. She went to the beach today. So Allie had her on the beach. But she did good.
Yes, she's not afraid of the water at all. She's very curious. She's a good girl.
So tell us a little bit more about your experience. Now, I know you've done pictures for the shelter, and you and I actually worked together on the show on Fox. You did a lot of the videos and footage. So you're familiar with the rescue world and taking pictures and helping aid with that and sharing and networking. Now, but with Natalie, she hit you, like you crossed over to the other side of rescue. And decided that you were going to pull her and network her and help her find her forever home. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, at the base, it's all about finding them homes. I started out at East Valley, just volunteering, walking dogs, cleaning kennels, giving them blankets. And we're trying to match the dogs and cats and bunnies and everything else at the shelter with the right homes. And sometimes we can't find the adopters coming directly into the shelter. We have to go out, whether it's mobile adoption events or finding a rescue. And then normally when I do find a rescue to help save a dog from the shelter, I will in turn, help that rescue out by taking the dog to adoption events, making flyers, doing videos, and trying to, the end goal is to find them a home. So whether it's from the shelter or from the rescue, and that's how I've gotten to know so many different rescue groups. And now with Natalie, I'm the rescue. So it's a fun adventure, but she deserves a good, loving home, and she's a great girl. She's going to make somebody very happy.
Oh, she is. She's very sweet. And right now she's temporarily until her long-term foster is available. She's staying with me. And she's very good at routine. If you give her a routine, I know the other day, my routine is they come inside and she gets a treat. And I was foolish enough not to hand her a treat. And she looked at me like, what is wrong with you, woman? It's your routine. Give me the treat. So she's very good at structure and routine. So that's something else. And that's really a lot of times what these babies need. So they just need someone to love them, give them a routine, and follow it. And she's small though. She's about 45 pounds.
Right. She's really got a lot going for her because she's very good looking. She's very cute. She's also small. She is active. She likes to go for long walks, and she's very curious and fun and playful. But at the same time, she's also mellow. She does want to cuddle with you. She loves belly rub. She's a good sit on the couch and watch TV with you kind of dog. And she's smart. What she's lacking is that I think in her previous home, she wasn't trained. She doesn't know a lot of training, but she's smart enough and treat motivated enough to pick that up quickly. And I don't think she was socialized with other animals very much. Now she's very friendly with people. She's had no issues with people, and she's not showing any meanness towards other animals. It's just more that I don't think she really knows what to do. And so it's just a matter of showing her that. And she's coming along really quickly.
She is doing really well. I know that, hang on just a second, baby. I'll let you down. I know at the house, like she does extremely well. Now she did just get spayed, so I haven't had her. She was spayed last Thursday, so she hasn't been in any play groups yet. Because I would just want to make sure that she's completely healed after the spay before we try her, intermix her with other dogs. Because the last thing you want is a little incident because she felt some pain.
Right.
So it's a matter of making sure the spay is completely healed up, and then because the reality is these pitties, they could play rough. They have fun, but they can play rough, and I know the kids at my house. Sometimes even I have to stop them because they get a little too excited. So we want to make sure that she's completely healed up before we introduce her to the rest of the pack. So she came across your feed, and I know that you had talked to me about it, and it was like, okay, yeah. Because SBC, the reality is pitties don't make it out of SBC. Their numbers are just way too high. So when I say she's an SBC survivor, she's literally, she really is. She's one of the few pitties that made it out of there. And they have some amazing dogs out there. They're really
They have
great.
wonderful dogs.
Yeah. So, but their numbers are just so high. Their intake numbers are so high.
And they don't have a lot of space. Honestly, she never made it out of receiving. They didn't have any free kennels, so she didn't even make it out into the regular kennels where people go to look.
Well, and the thing is, too, when you think about that, if they don't have any free kennels, even if they want to put her in a kennel outside, then they would have to euthanize another dog.
Yes.
And that's the reality of what happens in these shelters. So many times people, they will, it's, the shelter will take care of it. But she was still in receiving. So if you did not pull her out of receiving and they tried making kennel space for her, then another dog that's been there longer would have been euthanized. So that's the reality of the shelter. And I know a lot of people, they like to blame the shelter, but as a society, we need to be more involved. We need to, and I've said on this show many times, you do pictures, you network the dogs, you help the other rescues. There are different ways that people can do it. Even if you can't adopt a dog, there are ways that you could help a local rescue. Even if you share their posts, whatever your profession is. I always tell people rescues can use an accountant. You may think you're an accountant, there's nothing you can do, but
right.
We have books also that need to be, there are different ways to help. Even if you just, today you came and you took Natalie to the beach. So she had a great morning. So, versus, she got a walk with me this morning, but you take her to the beach. She gets that socialization. She's getting out there.
Socialization is so important, and especially for large dogs that come from, little dogs definitely need socialization as well, but what I've seen, at least with a lot of large dogs that come from the shelter, is that they were really just kept in people's yards. And so they haven't really seen, like when I rescued my own dog from the shelter, she didn't know what another dog was. She didn't know she was a dog. She didn't know what they were,
Right.
And so just that, walking dogs for rescues, taking them on a hike or taking them to the beach so that they get used to being around people, they get used to being around cars, they get used to being around dogs. And
well, that makes all the difference. And there are other things too, even if you just help them get a dog to the vet or something. There's definitely, there's lots that you can do without overextending yourself. So I want to go over that some more with you as soon as we get back from commercial break. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So in studio today we have Allie from the Valley, as she's known on Facebook. So she does a lot of photos and pictures at East Valley Animal Shelter, and so Natalie here, caught her attention, and so she reached out to other people that she knows in the rescue community, and was able to pull Natalie out of the shelter. So she's truly an SBC survivor, and so Natalie's here giving me love. You can't see her on screen, but she's
so short.
I know, she's a little bitty.
She's a little itty bitty pitty.
Yeah, she's a little pocket pit, huh, sweetheart? But she's just an absolute love. And if you want someone just to cuddle up with you on the couch, I mean, I know she got on the couch with me, and then I was like, okay, I have work I have to do. Come on, we got to get up. And then it's like, I didn't want to get up and do anything. It was just so comfortable with her cuddled up with me on the couch. So you saw her, and actually you went out on your lunch break to pull her out of the shelter.
Oh, well, it's a little bit further away than that. Yeah. I had to take some time off to drive out there, but it's been really neat to see her transformation because the volunteers from the shelter sent me some video, and she was terrified at the shelter and just kind of hiding in her cubby and shaking, and now you see her, she's a little wiggle butt and very happy and very different dog.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely in the yard. You saw her this morning when I was like, okay, I'm going to get you. And she's taken off, spinning around in the yard, Yeah. It's so nice. And that is one of the things in rescue that you see when you see them in the shelter. It's a scary place for them. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know what's happening. And so often, I mean, it doesn't show their true personality. And I think definitely with Natalie, that's the case. I mean, even when you first brought her over to the house, I mean, she was sweet, but very, slow and just kind of taking everything in. And now I'm like, all right, come on. And she's got the routine down. So she's very smart, very, very smart. Like, she picks up everything so fast. And so, I mean, she's a joy to have around. She's a lot of fun. So, okay, so you took some time off. This is what Natalie meant to you. So you reached out to AFA because I have pull rights at SBC. And so you were able to pull her under the rescue, which means we were able to take her out, and she wouldn't be spayed there. She'd be spayed at a private vet here. And so, I mean, she was able to come home with you that day.
Right. And the advantage of that is that it freed up a kennel immediately for the shelter.
Oh, yeah.
They were over full. They had no room in receiving, no room in their regular kennels, and they needed space immediately.
Well, and that's one of the things to just put out there to everyone, if you are thinking about getting a dog, check with your local shelters or look on Pet Finder. Look on, I know the Valley has a website. I mean, you can check there every day. And if you're looking for a certain breed, 25% of animals that go into the animal shelter are purebreds. So if you're looking for a certain breed, I mean, I just had Champ that just got adopted out through my rescue like a couple weeks ago. Purebred lab. You know, he was in a shelter, and he was only about 7 months old and scheduled to be euthanized simply for space. So that's something that everyone needs to think about. If you're looking for a certain breed, there's wonderful, amazing dogs in the shelter. Just look them up online or call and ask to talk to a volunteer there, because the shelters have volunteers. They could tell you, very often the volunteers can tell you a lot about the personality for the different dogs, like how they've been or what their tendencies are, if they're more relaxed or more high-spun. So you reached out to the volunteers there. They sent you some video of her. But what a difference a few weeks makes, right?
Yeah, I know we've talked about this. The decompression time for animals from the shelter is different for each one, you know. And I've seen dogs and cats who are mostly dogs who are just fine in the shelter. They're very confident. They, you know, my dog actually, she could be anywhere and she'd just be a happy-go-lucky puppy, you know. And some dogs are completely traumatized. You know, the shelter's very difficult for cats. You know, cats don't like changing their environment very much, but for dogs, I think it just depends. Some of them do better than others, and some of them can adjust really quickly, and some of them take, you know, several weeks, even months, to really fully come out of their shell once they get into a new environment.
Well, and it depends on what their home life was like too. I mean, it could be extremely terrifying for dogs. If, like you said, I mean, sometimes they haven't seen other dogs. They're not familiar with it. And then suddenly they're in an environment where there's hundreds of screaming dogs. So they don't know what's happening. And definitely, I think the younger ones, I mean, she's fairly young. The younger ones tend to bounce back, it seems, much faster. The seniors, in my assessment, the seniors are the ones that have the tougher time because they've, you know, been in a home for 15 years.
Right.
And now suddenly, they're in a shelter. They don't understand.
Definitely the owner surrenders. You can see it. They're really confused about what's going on, and they're looking around for their people.
Well, because a lot of times, I mean, maybe they've been in boarding before. Maybe they just think that they're in there temporarily, and when's my people, you know, my people should be coming back to get me any minute, you know, kind of thing. Like, this really isn't my fate. This isn't, I'm not staying here. Sorry, guys. Like, I'm going to be going home any minute. My owner's going to be back. And then, I mean, sometimes after a few weeks, you see, like, really it's set in. Like, this is their life, or this is
hopefully not. I don't like it when I see dogs really get settled in shelter life and get comfortable and used to it, because you don't want them to think of it as a home, but you don't want them to be scared and uncomfortable either.
Yeah, it's always a tough thing. Like, what you want, what, you know, as a volunteer in the shelter, like, what do you want them to be more comfortable in the shelter, or do you want, you know, it's like, okay, you know, what's right here. So we will talk more about that as soon as we return. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Try Fry Vineyards, the Mendocino County organic wine with no sulfites added. Fry Wines, America's pioneering organic winery. They were the first to go organic, the first maker of certified biodynamic wines in the United States. At Fry Wines, our emphasis is on producing organic wine of the highest quality while caring for our planet and palate alike. Check out our website at frywine.com and join the Fry Vineyards Wine Club. You'll receive 20% off all orders and much more. Plus, you can check out our internet-only specials. Great biodynamic wines from Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California. Fry Wines. Go to frywine.com. That's F-R-E-Y-W-I-N-E. Fry Wine. F-R-E-Y-W-I-N-E.com. Check it out and enjoy great wines at your home tonight.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So Allie and I are just talking about different dogs in the rescue, and she's actually been really great. So she's been helping take some pictures of my adoptable pups and trying to find them homes, and we were just kind of talking about them and what, the plan is. I mean, it's one thing to pull dogs from the shelter, but as you're seeing firsthand, a rescue group, what they go through once they pull the dog out of the shelter, how much goes into each dog after it comes out of the shelter. So with Natalie, I mean, you took time off. You went out to San Bernardino. It is far. It's quite a schlep from where we are. So you pull her out of the shelter, and then you have, just even simple things like making sure they've got their harness, what they've got for their food, where they're going to go. Then you've got, vaccinations and microchip and spay and neuter, and then training, and then photos and networking and the process that you go through. So you're really seeing this from basically, I mean, you've seen the very front of networking and helping with rescue, but Natalie's taken you through the whole experience now.
Yes, and that's what was very nerve-wracking about the whole thing. I knew that I couldn't just listen to my heart and take her without really having a plan, because that would be irresponsible rescue. I didn't want to get in over my head. I've seen that happen before. So I did have to have a foster, long-term foster in place before I could even pull her. And once I had found that, I said, okay, well, I can piece together the rest of the puzzle. And luckily I did. I know a lot of people in rescue. People were willing to help me, and they saw her and they said, no, you should do this. And it's always scary. There's always going to be unknowns. They could have an undiagnosed medical condition you don't know about, and you need to be aware that may cause expenses that you're going to have to pay for and stuff like that. But I knew I was going to have her evaluated by a trainer to see if there was anything that I would need to deal with before, putting her in a home with an adopter.
Well, because, I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, it's really a blank slate. We don't know. When we because in the shelter, there are things sometimes that you can miss. It doesn't matter how. I mean, I've been in rescue 15 years, and I could still see a dog. And I always give them 21 days out of the shelter before I start doing play groups. And there are some people who disagree with me. There are some that think they should go right into play groups. For me personally, I give them 21 days to decompress once they get out of the shelter. And this is for the bigs. And the reason I say that I do that for the bigs is because the bigger dogs, if there's a problem, if there's any kind of behavioral problem or anything like that, your risk is so much higher. And I remember talking to another rescue group. She's like, no, you need to get them in a play group now. And I'm like, I won't do it. Because it was her dog, and she wanted me to bring her dog into my rescue's play groups. And no, he needs, in my opinion, and this is just my personal policy, I give them 21 days. That gives them enough time to make sure they don't have kennel cough, nothing's getting spread. That makes sure that that all of the treatment and medical treatment that they may have need could be diagnosed. They could get to the vet and things like that. And then you get a clear idea of their behavior, walking by kennels or walking by the other dogs and how they're doing. And I will take them on pack walks together, because that gives me a better idea of their assessment. But I'm not going to let them do free play until at least that 21 days. So, Allie's been here. She's been our guest. She's kind of going over, what it's like from beginning to end. Natalie's here. She's sleeping here on my feet right now. And again, she's looking for her forever home. We have her information. It'll be posted on Rescue Radio's Facebook page. And so feel free, please actually share her information. She is looking for her forever home. And so we'll make sure everything gets up on the Facebook page later today. And thank you, Allie, for coming in, and thank you for rescuing Natalie. I'm glad to have met her, and I'm looking forward to seeing her journey on to her forever home. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk.
Because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www